Any soldiers? Please excuse the lighting situation. I was feeling my makeup today, but it's dark outside, so just bear with me. So I was reading the other day, as I do, and something in this book snuck up on me and just hit me in the face, and I was not expecting it, and that was a rogue love triangle. I feel like I'm doing the Illuminati symbol. Ah yes, the love triangle, a trope beloved by many. But I am angry now. I was not expecting a love triangle, and it snuck up on me in a very surprising way, and I'm tired of love triangles. Love triangles are dumb. I'm not necessarily hating on love triangles much. I mean, I love a good love triangle now and then when it's done well, but I just feel like now they're in everything unnecessarily. And as a writer, I get it. You want romantic tension. You want two dudes fighting the proverbial death over some girl because it satisfies some kind of Neanderthal instinct of romance. Plus, the main character, that's usually a girl, has been someone that has usually never had a boyfriend before, or has never been considered attractive, or has never been thought of as attractive, and now we suddenly have two guys vying for her affections at the same time, and it's supposed to be sexy and exciting. Plus, usually these dudes are super hot, super rich, supernatural, a combination of all three, and the person they're fighting over usually has way bigger priorities than deciding if a shirtless McNipples or hottie McHotPants is going to take them to the next winter formal, and so that they can all dance under the stars at their prom and drink punch like underage high schoolers do. Like, girl, you have a world to save, there is a all-evil sorceress coming, there's a whole magic system that's based on your powers alone that only you can save, and here we are, fawning over two guys that honestly need to just get a life. It's also very common for one of them to be either the best friend that's been there all along and has always heard her issues, or some guy that's like super kind and nice and she's never had a good friend before, and then the other guy to be like her dark side, and one of them is like the good side, just decide which one she feels more in love with. Now, I'm not saying that it is not possible to have a crush on more than one person at a time. I certainly have. But it's super rude to be stringing along two people vying for your affections based on the fact that you're not sure if one of them's gonna work out, so you want to keep like a backup one in case one of them dies in your manuscript. Hypothetically. It's unfair to them, first of all, because you're stringing along someone emotionally, so they're basically wasting their time with you if you don't end up picking them. So they could have been off in doing their own thing with the other people that really appreciate them. But then it's also unfair to you because then you feel the emotional guilt of keeping people close to you, and also maybe if you're self-aware enough, you know that that's kind of rude to just be stringing people along to get them to do things for you. Plus, these guys always seem to be doing that thing with the like, oh, I'll fight for you, like, I know that you've been, like, eyeing him lately, but, like, I'm gonna be the one that wins your affection. Sorry, what is this, a jousting tournament? That's not how feelings work. I don't know about you, but if some guy came to me being like, Rachel, I'm so in love with you, like, I'm super in love with you, I wanna get married, I wanna be with you, I wanna have children, I wanna be with you till the day I die. But I also kind of want to do that with that other girl. Like, could you understand? Could you just wait for a minute till I figure it out? I don't think in that situation that I'd be like, oh my gosh, you're in love with me, and you're in love with this other girl, and you just don't know who to choose? Oh my gosh, yeah, sure, I'll just like wait around for you to decide, like, no worries. I'd be like, oh, you're in love with me and this other girl? Okay, I'm gonna make that choice super easy for you. Peace. No one wants to be the side chick. It's just a universal thing. Being a side chick sucks. I have been an accidental side chick, and you know what? It sucked. And it is a bit of a trend that the two love interests fall in love in the first book, and then in the second book, a new love interest is introduced for the main character to suddenly have feelings for and question her apparently loving, stable relationship. I don't quite understand this whole thing of people like moving in on other people's relationships and then the two guys fighting over the girl. Like, if I'm gonna be with you, I'm gonna be with you. That's it. If you are in a relationship and someone moves in on you or your partner, it's up to you and your partner to establish boundaries with other people on how you want them to interact with you, either singularly or as a couple. It's okay to say, hey man, you've been flirting with me and that's not okay, I'm in a relationship and I don't want that. If they continue, then that's probably a clue that they don't understand or respect your own boundaries and you don't want to be in a relationship with that in any way, shape, or form. And it's also okay to question your relationship because you're constantly getting new information and creating new values, and maybe at the time that this new person comes in, you share more with them as you've evolved as a human instead of with your original partner who maybe you shared a lot more with in the past. It's also a thing that people change relationships. People break up and get together all the time. Like, you don't have have to be with the first person you ever fall in love with. Thank God that I am not with the first boyfriend I ever had. I really know he watches my videos, and even if he does, he can suck it. So unless you are consenting to be in a non-monogamous relationship with this person, that's a whole other thing, because that's full of respect and communication, and that does not happen in books. When have you ever seen a book where the main character is decisive on who she wants and there's tons of communication? Name one, I dare you. And you can certainly write romantic tension without having to put in a threesome. And you know what, I also get it, because most of these love triangles and books in general are not realistic, because not a lot of people want realism in their books. They want fantasy, they want escapism. So I get that that's also a type of escapism. But love triangles are so prevalent in books now that people are starting to think that's normal and that's sexy and that's exciting. But lying to each other and going behind each other's backs and having this closed off communication with one or your only partner is not a healthy relationship, and there is no respect going on within that triangle. I know I repeated these words a lot, but a good relationship is certainly based on love, but it's also based on trust and communication and respect. And if you had respect for yourself and for this other person, you would be clear with your intentions on whether or not you had feelings for someone else, or if you don't want them to be with you at all. And if there's any writers watching this, I dare you, I challenge you to write a not stereotypical, not predictive love triangle. Instead of writing about two guys and a girl, write about two girls and a guy. Switch things up. You could change the sexuality of some of the characters in this love triangle. Maybe one of them's bi, maybe one of them's gay, maybe one of them's trans, maybe one of them is bisexual. You can mess around a lot with that. You don't even have to make a love triangle, you can make a love square if you wanted. Maybe everyone in this hypothetical situation is just super good looking and just everyone's confused. You could write a love triangle, you could write a love square, you could write a love circle, you could write a love polyhedron, but for God's sake, do not write a love octagon. That's way too complicated and just really weird, honestly. Would a love octagon technically be an orgy? Or, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here, don't write a love triangle. Imagine that. That can actually occur in real life. I have not ever been in a love triangle before. I'm 22. This probably should have happened by the time I was about 16, if YA has taught me anything. So it's nice to have friends of the opposite gender, and you know what? It's just not always about a dating thing. Like, have your character have this person that comes into their life that's just a friend. You don't need to make them a love interest. I'm just done with reading unnecessary love triangles. You don't need one, and if you do have one, like, make it good, alright? And, you know, and it's great writer advice right here, but just make it good. Sometimes they're not necessary, and, like, it's just, why do you have to always have a love interest? Or why do you always have to have such a prevalent love interest? Like, there's been guys I've flirted with before and then never see again. Where's that book? Where's that novel? And half the time, these people that are in the books, like, they have way bigger priorities. Have them just go do stuff by themselves. I would be totally okay with that. Like, I just want to read about a girl that's kicking ass and taking names and not worried about, you know, which dude she's gonna choose. I just go out and have an adventure on yourself, girl. You don't need any man. I know this video is gonna be somewhat controversial in the book world, so you can leave your own comment down below if you like love triangles, if you detest love triangles, if you're writing one, if you're gonna switch it up now that maybe you've heard this video. Also leave down below some of your favorite love triangles, because that could be like a hot topic, because most of the time when I think of book couples, it's always book couples, except for like threesomes. Except the only love triangle that I am 100% down with is Will and Jem and Tessa from Clockwork Angel, because Cassandra Clare made it work. I'm so passionate about this topic and about respect and trust and relationships. It's getting so worked up and so warm. So I might have to go get myself an iced tea this time around. I hope you guys are having a nice day wherever you are, and I will see you all next week. Bye!